my name is Kai Tomizawa, and I wrote, directed, and acted in my short film, No Fan of Andy. No Fan of Andy is a story about friendship, revenge, and redemption. At the center of the story is the friendship between two teenage girls, Sophie and Rain. And when Sophie gets a pet parakeet and names him Andy and becomes quickly obsessed with him, Rain's best friend status feels threatened. One of my favorite challenges in making the film actually takes place at the very end. We needed a scene where a bird flies in through an open window, into an open fan, and explodes into blood and feathers. First of all, we used a super realistic styrofoam bird in almost every shot involving Andy, so no real birds were harmed in the process. But how we made him fly in through the window was a different thing. When I first wrote it, I didn't know how we were going to make a bird fly in through a window, whether we were going to have to train a bird or take the prop and just shoot it like a paper airplane through a window. But what we figured out is that we could pin the styrofoam bird to a piece of fishing wire, which we looped around a tree outside my window and then pulled it in like a pulley. And it doesn't sound technical or graceful, but it worked. And sometimes that's what you need. You just need a really simple and strange solution to make something work. Now for the blood. Basically, I shoved my entire crew behind the camera, and they sprayed fake blood at me using turkey basters and like paintbrushes, which they just flung the blood at me. And then we stuffed a bunch of craft feathers into boba straws, which they just like kind of dart blew at me. And it was very funny. I had to do multiple takes because I would mess up takes by either not hitting my mark or bursting out laughing because it was so ridiculous. If I cut it just a frame later, you would see me crack a smile. We got it eventually, but I still do have dots of fake blood on my ceiling. I'm taking a gap year before I go off to college so I can get more experience. My main goal for the next year is to continue learning and growing and meeting new people. But prior to making No Fan of Andy, everything I knew about filmmaking, I had just learned by going out and doing it. I had made 2 very short silent films with my sister, and I think that I would suggest making silent films to anyone who is interested in starting filmmaking. It removes a really tricky element, which is sound, and allows you to just focus on telling the story visually. It eliminates the technical barrier that can make it difficult to jump in, but it forces you to think radically about the way that you're going to tell your story.